The governor of Kharkiv region, Oleh Syniehubov, says at least 7 people died and 17 others injured on Thursday in Kharkiv, Ukraine, as a result of Russian forces shelling.
A video from the Associated Press shows 2 men and 4 others wounded at a central metro station in the city after Russia's military attack. Some residents appear to have sheltered in the metro station, where the wounded were brought in as shelling continued. The governor also says that a 9-year-old child was also among those injured. The current war between Ukraine and Russia has forced more than 80,000 Ukrainians to leave their homes.
In an online briefing, the head of Zaporizhia Oblast Military Administration, Alexander Staruch, on Thursday says all displaced Ukrainians are sheltering in Zaporizhia, including 6,000 Mariupol residents. He adds that on Wednesday, more than 900 people from temporarily occupied territories, including over 200 children, arrived in Zaporizhia. At least over 300 people came from Kherson Oblast. Staruch also says there were serious complications, with Russians not letting cars pass, detaining people at the entrance to Vasilivka, and using them as a human shield to redeploy their forces. Meanwhile, Ukraine's foreign minister Dmytro Kuleba has pleaded with Western nations to provide his country with heavy weapons in order to be able to push Russian forces back.
From a video of himself answering questions submitted on Twitter on Thursday night, Kuleba says his country needed stronger artillery, as it was the only area in which they were outmatched by Moscow. He added that the situation in the east of Ukraine, where Russian forces are now focusing their offensive, was dire, as people say. The eastern Donbas region, an industrial heartland of coal mines and factories, has become the focus of fighting after Russia suffered a series of setbacks and shifted to more limited goals.
We need weapons. If you really care for Ukraine, weapons.
Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko says on Thursday he was forming Southern Military Command and sending battalion tactical groups to the area that borders Ukraine.
Lukashenko did not give details, but battalion tactical groups typically consist of mechanized infantry, including tanks. The president's office released footage of him discussing the move with military officials. Belarusian territory has been used for rocket attacks on Ukraine, but its military has so far not taken part in the Russian ground operation. Ukrainian authorities have expressed concern and fear that Belarus may agree to a wider participation in the war.
Быстро на ходу отрабатывать защиту наших южных рубежей.
Meanwhile, Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov says the United States and their allies are increasing efforts to restrain Russia as the West has declared total war on his country.
At a meeting with Russian governors on Friday, Lavrov claimed that every day Russophobia is growing, quote, encouraged by government circles in several countries, and some Russian authors and artists were banned, unquote. The Russian minister also accused Germany of attempting to rehabilitate the Third Reich, with plans by the German government to create a documentation center to record the history of Germany's occupation in World War II. Lavrov says the concept of Berlin's World War II Documentation Center is aimed at equalizing the German criminals, and the liberators of Europe was another step taken by Germany to rewrite the history of the Second World War.
Уже до абсурда та самая культура отмены России и всего, что связано с нашей страной. Под